And today we have Reverend Mindy Tucker, who will be giving the talk, and Reverend Nikki is going to be joining me on the platform. We have Stefan on the piano for a second week. We have Marianne helping us with vocals, and we also have Lindsay DeCoste as our special guest musician today. We have Julie as our YFM director, and we have Justine Treglone, who's going to be giving our intergenerational moment. And we have a new sound person, if we could welcome him. His name is Christopher. He's in the back. Yeah. Unity of Mesa is a wonderful, abundant, loving, and dynamic spiritual community. It's a part of the New Thought movement, which is the Unity movement. And here together, we come together in harmony, in community, in oneness. And I invite you this morning to go ahead and pause for a moment of prayer. Sweet and loving Spirit, we are so grateful for the abundance that we are, the expression that we are, not just what we do and say and think and feel that comes through us from the divine, but knowing that we are the divine expression. We give thanks for this understanding, this opportunity to come together in community, to celebrate each other and our world, and to create what it is we want to see more of. We give thanks, and so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
We have some announcements for you today. The first one is right after service at 11:45, we have Town Hall. Town Hall is a great way to get some information about what's going on in the community. There'll be an update on current events, an update on financials, an opportunity to ask questions. It's where we talk about the business of the church rather than in service, where we are in celebration of life.
Yes, and after our town hall meeting, we're going to be having a new meeting twice a month, the first and third Sunday. It's called Creating Harmonious Relationships, where no topic is off limits for us.
Yes, Marianne, you want to stand up? You know Marianne, she sings with us every Sunday. We're excited to have her. We also have a class coming up beginning on Tuesday. It's with Lori Weber and Julie Treglone. Lori's here. Would you stand up, please? And Julie's here. So it starts on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock to 7:30. It's in the classroom that's right back here. There's no sign on the door because we just got those doors painted, but the door will be hanging open, so you'll be able to walk around the building and go, oh, there's that door that's hanging open. This is where my class is. It's a great way to know.
And also coming up on the 25th, this Thursday, we're going to be having Healing the Parent and Grandparent Within. It is an opportunity for us to deepen our ties, deepen our relationships with our inner child and also with our families in that way as a parent, grandparent, and healing that inner child as well.
I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity. We are pairing with Vanessa Chamberlain. What you may not know is that the Montessori school that is across the street has been renting our space once and sometimes twice a month. And this is part of that grant that they have to work with parents to really gain parenting skills. And I don't know about you when you were first a parent, but I know parenting skills, even with all my education, parenting skills was something that was very helpful to have other people talk about. And this is a meditation that's focusing on how we can become better parents. And while you may not be parenting another person, we are still nurturing ourselves. Hopefully we'll do that for the rest of our lives. I'm going to invite you to stand with us, to sing. You can dance if you want. We're going to sing, I Sing My Love.
I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love. into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world.
You guys were beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Justine is going to come up and share with us for about 3 or 4 minutes about her journey in life of transformation and how she sets intentions and creates what she desires.
Yes, this will be a bit of a condensed version to what I shared for about 10-15 minutes with the Women's Unity ministry yesterday. So I'll try to condense it down a little bit. Yes, louder? How's that? All right, I'll settle in. So transformative, absolutely. So this experience happened to me over the course of about an 8-month period. Late 22, ended in about May this year. And it has changed how I view life, how I connect with the universe and make things happen in my life. So it rubber really hit the road, and I put into action so much of what I learned from Unity in terms of alignment, co-creation, connection with the universe, faith, letting go of control and thinking that I needed to do everything to make things happen in my own life. So the situation is that I quit a job. I had a job that very clearly was not a fit for me. So I very consciously said, all right, this is not where I'm heading. I want something completely different. I am going to quit this job, and doing that, I put my legal status in the US in peril. While I've been here for about 17 years, I don't have a green card yet, working on it. But with that, the clock was ticking after I quit, so I had about 5 months to find another job, or I would have to leave. I would risk deportation. So I applied and I applied and I applied, a few bites here and there, but nothing really landed. So the time came and I had to go back to Australia. And I didn't realize how long that would be. Was I going for a few weeks? Was I going there permanently? What did the universe have in store for me? So I went back with just one bag and had all the faith that I could pack as well. So I applied from there still. There were a few jobs kind of in play here still. But it came to about 6 weeks' time when I was in Australia and nothing was landing. And I said, I've got to fish or cut bait here. I need to make a decision. What's the universe got in store for me? Does it want me to stay in the US? Does it want me to stay in Australia? I need to know. So I was talking with somebody and we said, you know what, let's put a deadline in. Let's say, okay, 2 weeks from now, universe, help me co-create here. Let's do something together. I really need a job by the end of this 2 weeks, or I'm going to take that as a sign that I'm meant to stay in Australia, which was incredibly hard for me to do, but I said, I got to put in a deadline here. This in between is really, really difficult. So in that 2 weeks' time, I got into alignment as best as I could. I did things that brought me joy, that lifted me up, that got me really high vibe. I envisioned what I what I wanted. I envisioned this job. I envisioned getting on that plane and coming back to the States and starting this job and being happy in this job. So I did all I could to get in that very receptive place for this blessing that I wanted to come back to me. But at the same time, I said, all right, universe, I want this. You know, I've been in the States 17 years. My whole family is here. This is what I want. But at the same time, give me this or something better. So I'm open to staying in Australia. It's not quite what I wanted, but if the universe had plans for me for that, sure, I'll take it, I'll do it. So I waited and I waited, but I didn't angst it, but then the deadline was coming. It was a Friday, 5:30 p.m. in the US, so Saturday morning in Australia. So 90 minutes before that deadline happened, 90, an hour and a half, I get an email from my now boss offering me a job with the best job description, with a visa. I was coming home. I learned so much. I'll go really quickly what I learned there. That I'm not separate to God. I'm so much more connected to God than I ever thought. That this idea of co-creation is so powerful. The universe is a trusted partner. It can be trusted to make things happen for you. It is there to do things with you, to give you things and to step in where you can't as a human. That the universe is always working for our good and working to give us what we want or something better. In this case, I got both. So what I really learned is that life can be tough, but me and the universe, we're tougher.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm inspired by that story and that sharing and that life experience and by Justine's faith. So we have Julie Treglong with us, our Youth and Family Ministries person.
Okay, between me and Justine, we're going to teach you how to speak Aussie. You'll tune your ear a bit more. Okay, I'm here with this young man who has been attending YFM for a long time now, and we're happy that he's going to lead us in our affirmation this morning.
All right. Wherever I am, my divine light shines and blesses others. Say it with me. Wherever I am, my divine light shines and blesses others.
Thanks, Julian. Okay. So we have our big day next Sunday after the service. We've got talent, and thank you to everybody who's signed up. If you've not received an email, please let me know. My details are on the Unity of Mesa website, or you see them up there, because we want to get you on our program. It's going to be fun. Our youth are going to be very involved. They're going to do some acts. The ministry team is going to do an act. It will blow you away. So thank you to everybody that's participating. Please come along, even if you're not participating. We're going to collect a love offering that will go toward our youth ministry, and also bring some food along to share, something simple that doesn't require too much fuss or heating up and that sort of thing. So we're going to have a great time next Sunday together. Okay, let's bless our children before we go out for our classes. Children, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are.
I encourage you, if you haven't signed up for the talent show, to do it. I'm excited to see what all of you bring forth and how beautiful it is, and how your magnificence will simply shine, as it does every day, but especially for this event. If you're treading new ground or fighting the same old battle, don't give up. Continue to dream, to plan, to do. Try something different if you're stuck. Do whatever your heart tells you to do. Give yourself credit for all that you have accomplished thus far. Most dreams that come true are born out of a deep desire, and they're fueled by preparation and action. Don't be afraid. You can do it. I know you can.
Today is the day I will change my luck. I will find 3 pennies and they'll be heads up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll remember to see only good, only God happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll be more myself, love my skin where I've been and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I've come from. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am loved by this thing called life.
Yay, Lindsay. Yay, Stefan. Last week, I left you with a cliffhanger. I left you in a state of wonder and curiosity because we covered the fundamentals of James Clear's Atomic Habits, which is T9C changes, when repeated over time, lead to lasting transformation. So if you remember the basic premise, itty bitty changes, enormous impact. If you were here in person or you watched online, that's pretty much the redundant theme of the fundamentals. Itty bitty changes, enormous impact. So the moment you've been waiting for is not here yet. But it's coming, because we're going to take a look at James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. We're going to look at his systems. We're going to look at the value of systems and why they're important to us for having more love, joy, and peace in our life. So systems are the chronological set of sequences that lead to a particular consequence. When I teach prosperity, and there are people in my classes that are looking for a greater experience of their financial abundance, I usually bring in the systems that Robert Kiyosaki put out in Rich Dad Poor Dad, or Dave Ramsey. I bring in those systems because when we initiate change in our habits, in the way we look at our life and begin making those micro changes, those itty bitty changes, then we can consciously and mindfully direct our money every month to fill those pockets so that subsequently we can have more financial stability in our lives. And the sooner we start that kind of practice, the more substantial our financial stability becomes. Systems, in my prior career, I was in business, and I used systems all the time. First, I was in corporate planning, and then I was in public affairs, and I used systems so that I could, in my work and in my job and for myself, I could improve communication, I could streamline processes, I could encourage more accountability, I could make sure that our productivity was up to standard, all those things. It was just like boom, boom, boom. Systems are so rich. They work when we work them, and when we don't work them, thank you, Reverend Nikki, for remembering that I needed the clicker. When we don't work them, then things like this happens. We have an absence of success in business. And that absence of success could be due to a lack of experience or execution. It could be that the person that's supposed to do the job doesn't really have the experience to do the job, or they're not doing the job the way it's laid out in the system. Or the absence of success could be a lack of capital or profitable model. In one of my jobs, I worked for a political party, and my job was to train candidates how to have successful campaigns. Some of those candidates didn't have enough money. They didn't even have enough money for yard signs, let alone advertising, but that's a lack of capital. Insufficient systems is another reason, but if we turn all of these around and look at the key benefits of having a system, it encourages us and it keeps our mind on the prize. It helps us focus on our mission, our purpose, and the why that we're here in the first place. Every decision that gets made, every action that gets taken, gets tied right back to the purpose of why we're here. Systems build predictability. We find that when we work the system, we get reliable results. A plus B equals C every time, unless there's other factors. But it does build predictability. It provides for accountability. It gives us a structure to say, did I do what I said I was going to do when I said I was going to do it? And there's no micromanagement needed. Yippee! We have more time. We have freedom to turn our creative efforts to looking at other things, to doing the rest of our job if we have a system we can rely on. Now, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore had systems, and so did, there are co-founders of Unity, and so did subsequent Unity writers. They wrote all kinds of systems and all kinds of books about here's a system for healing, here's a system for prayer, here's a system for meditation, here's a system for greater financial stability, here's a system for healing relationships. All of the challenges that we go through in our human life. In Unity, we believe that we are a spiritual being, created whole, with the pattern of perfection already within us. And as a spiritual being, it is our birthright to experience love, joy, and peace. In Unity, we also believe that we are having a human experience. We are having the experience of having a human journey. And we are the composition, or our experiences, our journey is the composition of every experience, every event, every outcome that has brought us from birth to this now moment. So the parents we've had, the educational opportunities we've had. We had the relationship learning that we've had the economic and income experiences that we've had, and all of those choices, whether they were made for us when we were little or we made ourselves as we grew up, have brought us to the human position or the human expression that you now see before you today. Feel yourself. And you say, yep, I brought myself here. All of my choices, I brought myself here. And I'm present. And I'm present. Our spiritual disconnect comes when our human journey doesn't always match that truth we know about our spiritual being. The experiences we've had don't appear to be in alignment or an expression of that spiritual pattern of perfection, that expression of love, joy, and peace that we know is our birthright. So the system that the Fillmores develop and that Unity teaches in its most basic form looks like this. There's an event. It could be a spiritual awakening, it could be a diagnosis, it could be a relationship challenge or a financial something. You know what yours is. But there's an event. And then from the event, we have two choices. The first choice is to react. And when we react, that dotted line means that we don't give a whole lot of thought to the action that we're about to take. It's more like knee-jerk. The event happens and we knee-jerk. You have no idea what kind of mama bear I can be if you start messing with my kids. I mean, I would put a grizzly bear with a beehive on his nose to shame because I would react that fast. Or I can respond, right? You and I can respond. The second choice is to respond, is to come home to our spiritual selves and have that solid line and have a mindful, conscious response to whatever is going on in our lives so that we can participate, we can co-create that outcome that we find more appealing than choice one, which is to frenetically create more chaos, more fear, more anxiety, more anger, more, you fill in your word, whatever that emotion is that we've got spinning, that all comes from reaction. We're just going to create more of the same or more worse, which is the language of my youth. A little bit of pidgin English there, or worse, an outcome that's amplified the event that happened in the first place. Now, James Clear has a system that is equally as broad, but has more detail. So in his book, Atomic Habits, which I've mentioned before, has sold over 10 million copies, and we have a fresh supply in our bookstore. His system can be directly overlaid with this, and he uses psychological terms. There's a cue, then there's a craving, then there's a response, and then there's a reward. So the cue is what happened, the craving is what do I want, the response is what am I going to do about it, and the reward is the feeling that we want to have when all is said and done. It's a feeling, it's not a object, and it's not even a particular event, but it's really more of a feeling. So because he did this model from a psychological system, he's put it in words that that support us in understanding and applying it just a little bit easier. there's something happens. What do we want to happen? We got to make it obvious, and then we want to make it attractive, and then we want to make it easy, and we want to make it satisfying. We want whatever our reward is to feel satisfying. We start with make it obvious. See that green slice of the pie? This is what research says we actually know. Now, I think research is being very generous. If you ask me, we probably know even less than that, but this is the pie chart that the research put out. So that's what we know. The yellow part is what we think we know. So we think we know way more about ourselves than we actually do. And then that red-orange part is what we don't know. And then we don't know that. But what James Clear invites us in this first step is to become more self-aware. Really figure out what we've got in our consciousness and what's in our unconscious minds, and bring that to light so that we can begin to make more responsive choices, and we can begin to create habits that support us, even if it's 1% at a time. Carl Jung says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct you, and you will call it fate. Well, I guess it's meant to be. But in reality, our unconscious mind or our subconscious mind, there's all kinds of words we use for it, but the part that we think we know and the part that we don't know, they're actually driving our decision making. So the examples he gives are like, we have no idea. We're not conscious about eating the cookies on the counter. They're just there, so we ate them. And then we take a look at our weight, and we go, gosh, I don't know why I keep packing on the pounds, because we have this unconscious habit of eating the cookies. So he says, make it obvious, and we have to work to make it obvious. The example he gives is about the Japanese railway. And the conductors on the Japanese railway have a process that they call point and calling. They point out what really looks to be obvious, but they're bringing it into their conscious awareness. So the pointing and calling is signal light is green, and they say it out loud. There are no obstructions, close the door. The speed exiting the station is whatever the speed of the station that you're supposed to be at. They call those things back and forth out loud, so everybody's really conscious about the choices that they're making. And you may think this appears totally silly. And if I was a conductor, I would feel pretty silly going, duh, the light is green, or duh, this is my speed leaving the station. But what's happened is the safety of the trains, the safety of the passengers, the safety of the entire enterprise of the Japanese railway system, the margin of error dropped 85% when they started doing this, and their accident rate dropped 30%. So making it obvious may seem a little silly. Cookies on the counter. We're becoming more aware of our environment and what our unconscious habits are and how they're driving us. So a question we can ask ourselves when we notice that we're engaging in a behavior, like there's like, oh, cue, clue, something's happening, event, does this behavior help me become the type of person I wish to be? Does binge watching Netflix support me in getting 8 hours of sleep at night? Does spending hours on social media and playing video games on my phone support me in being in a healthy relationship with my partner? Does impulse spending at the grocery store support my better eating habits? Does choosing to go back to that binge watching actually support my exercise routine? So it's really about self-awareness. And some of us are extremely self-aware. Some of us think we're extremely self-aware, right? But it's really making whatever we're doing more obvious and more conscious. It's bringing all of our stuff, our habits, up into our conscious mind. The second part, and this is the first law, make it obvious, is about clarity. Oh, if you've ever had an accountability partner, they will ask you to do this. I will, and you state the behavior at this time in this location. So I will, and there's some great examples in the book. Oh my gosh, he has these examples. He says, I don't want you to miss it. He says, I will meditate. For example, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. Okay, I've been meditating a long time, so mine would be I will meditate for 20 minutes at 10 p.m. in my living room. When I first started meditating, it was 5 minutes. I will meditate at 10 a.m. because I didn't have a job yet. I will meditate at 10 a.m. for 5 minutes in my living room. And I would set a timer because I found if I didn't set a timer, then I would be opening my eyes. Is it 5 minutes yet? 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 And I had this clock. And so anyway, I set my phone timer. And 5 minutes later, then I was like, okay, I will meditate at 5 p.m. No, wait. I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen is what he says. The second one is I will exercise for 1 hour at 5 p.m. in my local gym. Now, my version of this would be I will walk for 10 minutes, either at home or at work, maybe every day. But I'd like to do it every day. So guess what I don't do? Because I don't walk like that. My clarity isn't there. It's not obvious whether I've done it or not because I haven't given myself anything in particular to stick to for my accountability to stick to. Okay, the next one's in relationships. I will make my partner a cup of tea at 8 a.m. in the kitchen. My version of that is I will make my partner a cup of tea at 8:45 a.m. in the kitchen. Because in my house, God does not get up until 8:30. But you see how it's like that specificity makes things obvious. It gives us the behavior, it gives us the time, and it gives us the location. So what's one thing that you can plug in to this formula? What's one thing? I will ride my bike at 7:30 a.m. God gets up earlier at Denise's house. Yeah, okay, so I will ride my bike at 7:30 a.m. up to the mailbox and back. But you see how it's easy to see, it's easy to stick to, it's easy to articulate, and it invites accountability. All right, so the next thing he talks about is number 3 is habit stacking, and I'm not going to talk about that at all today. I'm going to go straight to number 4, which is environmental design, which is both physical and visual. Now, if you remember in the 80s, it used to be dress for success. And I think that there was something missing in that dress for success, because now when we look at dress for success, we're actually looking on not only putting on the clothes, we're looking at putting on the consciousness. We have some clarity, so we know exactly what kind. We are aware of the obvious consciousness that we're putting on. So if you want to feel more opulent, you can buy yourself fresh flowers and have them in your house. If you recognize that you want support in going to the gym, which is never on my list, but it's on a lot of other people's lists, you might want to look for those perfect sweats or those perfect kinds of shoes. If you want to improve your tennis game or your pickleball game, you want to play with someone who's just a little bit better than you so that you can rise to their level. You can see that it's just a short journey, a short jump to that next level. Those are all physical ways you can design your environment to support you in making these obvious 1% habits compound in your life. The other way that he suggests is visual, and I love it because I am a great checklist person. I list everything that I want to do in a day, and then I scratch things out or I check things off as I go. But if it's a habit that you're trying to change every day, like meditation, then you go Monday, January 15th, meditated, X on the calendar. Tuesday, January 16th, meditated, X on the calendar, and pretty soon you're looking at this calendar and there's so much satisfaction. Look at me, I didn't miss a day all week. I'm not really leaving you hanging because I want you to know that I'm going to be speaking again on February 4th, and we're going to go through some more of these laws. I had no idea how beautiful and pithy and supportive atomic habits can be. I knew they were in alignment with unity principle, but I really had no idea how rich a resource they are for us to apply. So between now and February 4th, which is 2 weeks from now, I invite you to come into your self-awareness, whatever it takes to make your unconscious conscious. Point and call if you need to. Clarity. Pick a few habits. Pick a few habits in different areas in your life and say, I will meditate for 5 minutes at 7 a.m., but not me, 10 p.m., in my living room. Pick these out for yourself, like Denise did with riding her bicycle. Every morning, 7:30, all the way to the mailboxes and back in her neighborhood. That's something she can put on a calendar and make an X. This spiritual community loves you. It loves you in that greater sense of love. And we want nothing more than to have you experience more of your spiritual divine essence, more love, more joy, and more peace in your life. We're going to sing our way into meditation. Marianne, Lily, Reverend Nikki are coming up, Lindsay, and it's Flow Through Me by Eddie Watkins. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, So let's take a moment now, or a series of moments, to close our outer eyes, to allow our breath to flow through us, and allow our breath to flow as us in the world. Remembering as we journey within that we are remembering the fullness of our spirituality, the fullness of all the capacities of God that we have been created to express. The purity of our spiritual pattern for perfection. Our oneness with the law, our oneness with principle, our oneness with God. We have all the wisdom. We have all the discipline, the willpower. We have all the faith. That we will ever want or ever need to shape our environment, to shape our thoughts, attitudes, to shape our behaviors and our habits. Here within our movement, our potential for movement is immense. It is enormous. And we sit now in the holy and sacred silence at one with Spirit. Using our breath to guide us back into the present moment. Using our breath to flow back and become one with our human self and one with our human journey in this now moment. Feeling the flesh upon our bones, recognizing the movement we can put into our fingers and our toes, recognizing the light in the room, recognizing that as we come back up into this present moment, up into this time, up into the world, that yes, indeed, we have brought our light with us. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Mindy, for a wonderful, wonderful meditation and for this wonderful atomic habits. I was so glad when you went to the make it section, because when you said crave, I said chocolate. And, you know, I like the awareness and the clarity. And I will look at the book. We come to that section of our service today when we can give of our gifts to Unity of Mesa. And we have many gifts. We have our time, we have our talents, we have our volunteer work, we have our love. And whatever you're giving today, please remember to give your love, because it's not only to Unity of Mesa, it's to all of us, wherever we are in the world. And there are a number of ways to give physically, and that's online with the Venco app, texting, by mail, and in person. And in person, you can do that with the ushers or even at the bookstore. And that is the phone number for texting. And so let's say our blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
With blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way, and there's nowhere else that I'd rather be. Tell everybody I'm on my way, and I'm loving every step I take. With the sun beating down, yes, I'm on my way, and I can't keep the smile off my face. 'Cause there's nothing like seeing each other again, no matter what the distance between. And the stories that we tell will make you smile. Oh, it really lifts my heart. So tell them all I'm on my way, new friends and new places to see. To sleep under the stars, who could ask for more? With the moon keeping watch over me. Not the snow, not the rain can change my mind. The sun will come out, wait and see. And the feeling of the wind in your face can lift your heart. Oh, there's nowhere I would rather be. Tell everybody I'm on my way, and I just can't wait to be there. With the blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way, and nothing but good times to share. Tell everybody I'm on my way, and I just can't wait to be home. With the sun beating down, yes, I'm on my way, and nothing but good times to show. I'm on my way, yes, I'm on my way.
Hey, Lindsay and Stefan and you guys, the Unity Rhythm section, which is so great to hear. Our ushers are coming forward. We're going to bless our offering. Thank you for your generosity.
We are one with the opulence of God. We are now in the flow of infinite abundance And we give thanks for the prosperity that is ours by divine right.
What a wonderful day. I hope that you have been inspired and are willing to share your inspiration with each other as we have hospitality in the back. I invite you to share something about your week that you have thoroughly enjoyed so that the conversation in hospitality is delightful and you can learn from each other. You might even get some ideas about what to do for yourself this coming week. So hospitality is in the community room through the double doors. We have chaplains today. I see Sharon standing up. John is standing up with us. So Sharon and John and Delane, for our chaplains, bring them your concerns, but bring them your celebrations and your hallelujahs also.
Well, I hesitate to call it homework, but it's kind of homework. More self-awareness, make the obvious obvious in your life, get clarity about the little habits that you want to change, and design your environment to support your satisfaction.
Yes, indeed.
You are on your way.
Have
Yes,
the
you
best
are.
week ever.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And nothing but good times to show. I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.